leaders encourage innovation in their organizations?
So I think there's a couple of ways. I think one is just encouraging creativity in general. So as you can probably tell by some of the other things I've said earlier, I think I tend to be a pretty like regimented and organized person. If we're in a meeting and we have these 5 items to cover in this amount of time, we're going to do it. But I think leaders who are really good at encouraging innovation kind of know when it's okay to deviate. Like when people get on like a sort of tangent that you can tell just creative energy is around, people are invested and interested and it's going in a positive direction, you have to know when to kind of throw out the structure, or maybe not throw it out, but set it aside to let people kind of vibe on that with one another and be in that space. And the thing is, it's so hard for those of us that are very regimented, which I am, but you can't predict that. You can't say like, okay, at 9 a.m. Monday, we're going to have a really creative time. It kind of just, it hits when it hits, right? And so you have to be able to recognize it when it hits and harness that and make the decision about whether or not it's worth kind of like setting the structure aside to allow that. But I think there are other ways that leaders can encourage creativity too, just giving people time and space away from the work, which is why I think work-life balance is so important. I don't think it's healthy to be on, email about work every second of the day, because for me, and I love this because Einstein does it too, or Einstein did it, but he always said, I got my best ideas in the shower, and I find the same is true. Like when I set aside my work and I'm in the shower, or I don't know, maybe baking or going for a run, and I think, oh my God, I just had a great idea. Sometimes you have to kind of break away and have that space, and I love workplaces that let people go for a walk in the middle of the day, or sometimes you walk in places and they have like pool tables and stuff, and you think, well, how do they ever get any work done? And I don't know, maybe that's an issue in some places, but I think it's also a great opportunity for people to kind of set aside the day to day and really think big picture and do something different that might activate a different part of their brain. And there's a ton of research that shows that too. And I think also, just finally, it gets back to what we talked about with regard to failure. You have to make failure okay. Because if failure is not okay in an organization, then no one's going to want to innovate or do anything that's sort of drawing outside the lines because they don't want to get in trouble or suffer the consequences. So you have to be really clear about, and if there are things you can't fail on, just say, these 3 things, non-negotiable, you can't fail on these. But these 11 things, go wild. And you have to give people that time and space to kind of mess up and learn. And it gets back to this idea of continuously learning. So when you dabble kind of in new things, it might, the first inclination you have might not be the right one, but over time, you kind of get the data that you need to make good decisions and come up with something totally new and different and hopefully better.